Hey, Venetia's Cutesies. So I want to tell you the story, the time my sisters catfished a guy, right? On IMVU, right? So at the time it was in like a two-story house, right? So we only had one computer, right? So my three sisters all got on the computer, right? On that one computer, right? And they was playing IMVU. IMVU is a little virtual place that you can build like a home, a family, or a fake husband or girlfriend or something like that, right? It's just a virtual place, you know. You can do all different kind of stuff, right? You can buy your avatar like clothes. You can buy like different kind of tricks for your Android to do, right? So my sister was on the computer, right, doing that, right? So it was this guy, right? And they was at the chat room, right? And this guy was at the chat room, right? And he was asking questions to my siblings, you know, my sisters, right? And he was like, all these other stuff, right? In the group chat, you know. And she knows who's who, you know, in the chat, you know. So after that, you know, the guy was like saying how he was like, you don't have a girlfriend and stuff like that. Personal things, you know, like personal things to tell someone on like a virtual chat app, you know. So he was telling my siblings that, right? So they was giggling and stuff like that, you know, and talking back to that guy, right? So after a while, the people in the chat left. Some of them left, and it was only her Android. Her Android was a girl, and that guy's Android was a dude, you know. So they was in the chat still talking, right? And then it start getting personal, you know. So he was like talking about how his life is a mess because he's in a situation and stuff like that. So my sister's like, what kind of situation you in, you know? So he explaining that he's in a wheelchair and stuff like that, right? No, he didn't. He didn't explain that. He said he don't have a girlfriend and he have a lot of disabilities or something like that, right? So my sister was like, okay. So he was like, send me some pictures of you, you know? And my sisters thought it was funny to like catfish this dude, right? So they went on Google, right? And they searched up a picture of a pretty girl or a decent kind of girl, you know, and sent it to that guy, right? So he's assuming that is them talking. He thinks it's one person, but he's actually talking to like at least three people. So that's my siblings, right? So she's sending the pictures of these people on Google, right, to him, right? So he's like, "Oh, you're pretty," you know. She's like, "Yeah, thank you," you know. So she's giggling, and you know, and so I'm coming on the opposite side, you know, to get me something to eat, right? So she told me, you know, or they told me like we catfishing this dude, right? And I was like, okay. So what you telling him, right? She's like, oh, he wanted a picture of me and stuff like that, right? And I was like, so what you gonna do? She's like, I'm gonna go on Google, get a picture, you know, and send it to him, right? So that's what she was telling me, right? So I was going downstairs, got me something to eat, right? So I went back on the opposite side, right, into my room, right? So he was like, how are you? Do you want to meet at this cafe and stuff like that, you know? And she was like, uh, yeah, you know? And then he was like talking about his situation, that he couldn't find a girlfriend, how he had medical problems and stuff like that. And then he's like, can you send me some pictures of your tits, right? So my sister was like laughing, you know. She's like, this dude wants pictures of me, my tits, and everything, you know. So they found another picture on Google where these ladies were showing their breast area, right? So she sent them a boob or her titties, you know, of the girl on Google picture of the girl who have the boobs on, right? She sent that picture, right? So the guy's like, oh, you got lovely tits, right? My sister didn't pick any random boobs or titties, right? She picked the prettiest one the biggest one and the one who looks perkiest, right? So he's like, yeah, you got pretty tits, right? So he was like, show me, can you send me a picture of your cooch area, your private area. So my sister's like, this guy is a pervert. This guy is weird. So we'll continue going with this, right? So they went on the opposite side, to find different kind of pictures, to send this dude, right? They didn't use the phone or anything like that. They used like a text app or something like that, right? So there's like, hey, you know any kind of like Google pictures of people's private area or stuff like that? And I was like, no. What are you doing? She's like, oh, this guy asked for my tits, my face, my private part. And I was like, you guys are going way too far with this. This is a name for this. This is like catfish. So at the time we didn't know about Catfish, the TV show or anything like that. So I was like, don't you think this is like going overboard? There's like, oh, whatever. It's just a game. So that's what they was thinking in their head. So I found him a picture, right? So I was like, send it to him, right? So I was like into this. They was like, look at this picture. Do you think this will be like a good picture of someone's cooch area? And I was like, I don't know, but that's you, guys. I'm not in this. I'm not the person who helped catfish this dude, to do these kind of things and stuff like that. If you're gonna catfish someone, at least get some money out of them. That's what I was assuming, in my head. But I was like, I'm not in this, so I'm not gonna even put my 2 cents in, right? So she went back on the opposite side of the house, right? So she was like, look at this picture, guys. So she was sending this picture of this girl's coach who was on, I think it was on Google, or some website. I don't know where they got it from. She just copy and paste and like send it to that guy, right? So he's like, let's meet at this coffee shop, right? So they was like, okay, we can meet over there. He's like, oh, before we stop talking, I want to tell you a secret. What I have. So he's like, I'm in a wheelchair, right? So my sister's like, oh my god, we catfish this guy who is in a wheelchair. He have mentally problems, and stuff like that. They didn't feel no sympathy or like nothing wrong with this. So I was like, whatever. I went back over there to get me something else to like use to like charge my phone, right? Because my phone was dying, right? So there was like, this dude is he's crippled, and he want all these pictures. Don't you think that's crazy and weird? I was like, that's disgusting, guys. Like, well, why would you even do that? Why would you send these fake pictures? They're like, what do you mean? You think we will send the real pictures of us? I was like, I know you wouldn't, but like, you should have like ended when you said he wanted to see your face. But I can't stop them from doing something what they want to do. So that's the time that my 3 sisters, catfish this crippled dude, with problems and stuff like that on IMVU. So after that happened, right? It was the next day, right? I went back on the computer, and I was playing my character on IMVU, right? So I went on chat rooms, and I was like telling people like, hey guys, like the group chat, right? I was like, guys, I don't have any money. I can't support my Android, right? Can you like spare me some money? It's like, you don't need no money. I was like, can you at least go on my wish list and buy me things, guys? Like, come on. So they was like, no, and they was like explaining and stuff like that. And I had like 3 other characters. I had a dude character who was married to these other 2 characters what I have. So that happened. And then I got out of the chat room and I went to another place to chat, right? I was on a boat, and I was doing like, I was trying to buy like different kind of poses and stuff like that, right? And this random dude came on the same boat as I was, and he slapped me. And I was like, how dare you just slap my character, like, how dare you? So that happened, right? So I guess that's the time that my sister's cat fished this guy who had a lot of problems on IMVU, you know. I didn't say anything because it was not my concern, it was not my problem. I I wanted to be the oddball out. I didn't want to have nothing to do with they are doing like catfishing this dude, you know. So I called it a day, you know, and that's what happened, you know. Like and subscribe, turn your notifications on. I see you later, guys. Like and subscribe. Bye. Thanks for watching.